Good afternoon, collectors and friends. Welcome to Trading Card Therapy, episode number 37, hosted by yours truly, the Doctor. Thanks for tuning in today. So, March Madness is running wild. Baseball season is not only amongst us, but unless you haven't been near a television, radio, or ESPN, the WBC has ignited baseball earlier than expected, and it was tremendous. So if you didn't catch any of the WBC this year, the next time it comes around, make sure you do. Next up, I do want to talk about an unbelievable collection that we just purchased. We showed off these cards yesterday, or at least some of them, on Layton's Loft. The reason why we didn't show off all of them is because we didn't know if we were going to be able to buy the collection. What's going on, Nick? This person originally contacted us through our website on our free appraisal form found at justcollect.com. And when we first received this inquiry, we almost thought like the person doesn't understand what they have, or their reprints, or like they're miscounting. We didn't really quite get it. So a gentleman from a small town in Virginia reached out and said, hey, getting older now, and I have this collection from when I was a kid. In fact, when I was about 9 or 10 years old, I started it into my early teens when I was 13 or 14 years old. And when he was talking to John at the time, but when I share with you, I spent every penny and nickel and dime that I had on cards. So he would cut lawns, he would do chores, he'd help little old ladies in the supermarket. He did anything and everything that he could do to get money to buy, you guessed it, more baseball cards. But this is what's super interesting, because normally you're like, all right, I'm the biggest baseball card nerd around, probably not going to be, that many of my close friends that will collect nearly as much as me. Well, this gentleman was running in a circle where everyone else was a big baseball fan, and several of them, including this gentleman, was a Yankee fan. So this collection, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but it has thousands of cards in it from the 1960s. There are some from the 1950s, but the bulk of the collection is from the 1960s. There might be almost 5,000 cards. And the biggest concentration is in 1965. And it's evidenced by, we're going to show off the first group of cards from this collection that we just purchased, is Mickey Mantle. Before we show them off, hey, what's going on, Nick and Nick? Before we show them off, this gentleman originally contacted us through our website in the appraisal form. Then he started talking to J5, one of our specialists here. And, we explained to him a little bit about condition, how it worked. And the gentleman felt comfortable enough about who we are, our website, and our process. He shipped the entire collection to us. And so when we got it, it was all in 9 pocket sheets. The full story and the video on this collection will be available soon on our website at justcollect.com. But more specifically, you can read the full story on our blog at blog.justcollect.com. So without further ado, here are the Mickey Mantles. And I'll make sure that I show it off to our friends here on YouTube as well as Instagram. Oh, actually, it's right here. Perfect. All right. First up, nothing special, low grade 55 Bowman Mickey. But before I show it off, let me count how many there are. Wow. There are 22 Mickey Mantle Bowman and Topps cards from 1955 to 1965. And here they come for the first time on Trading Card Therapy. Triple Crown year, 1956 Topps Mickey. It's amazing that there's still collections out there with this much volume. Nice looking 58. Gentleman told us he believed the 50s came from someone else in his neighborhood. And we're going to get to the story about some of the 1960s cards in just a minute. Decent looking 59. We just sent off a 1961 today to PSA. It's dead nut center. It's got a chance at an 8. What's up, Ken? '64. A couple 57s. One of them's written on. I think there was a couple 66s. These are all fresh to the hobby. Gentleman said he has no kids, doesn't have any family that wants them. 67s, and then we're going to pair of them. I love the 67. I like the way they make you smiling. All right. Definitely, to me, the most interesting portion of the collection. So he said that they didn't really flip the cards. They did put a bunch in bike spokes, but they did a lot of trading. And he said, you know, he wasn't the only one who liked the Yankees, but he loved Mickey. And he had other friends who were also doing the same thing that he was doing, which is taking their hard-earned, you know, yard work money or chore money. And they were buying as many of the packs of cards for that respective year as they could. So check this out. And by the way, the 65 Topps Mantle, it's not the easiest card to get. I'm going to show them off one at a time, but in a group, super cool. There are 9 1965 Topps Mickey Mantle cards. I'm going to show them off one at a time in just a moment. He said specifically in 1965, he was starting to make a little bit more money, and that was at the height of his collecting. Probably the nicest one in the group. That's a really well-centered example. Some of these will be up for sale soon on our eBay account, just_collect. Some of them will be available for sale in our store here at Just Collect in Millburn, New Jersey, a few hundred feet up from the famous Millburn Deli. And some of them, believe it or not, will be available as bonuses and freebies that you could win by watching our Vintage Breaks live stream. And we're actually having a big event for Vintage Breaks this weekend. This Sunday night, we're giving away a T206 Ty Cobb, thousands of dollars in prizes. And like I said, you'll have a chance to win some of the Hall of Famers you're seeing during today's episode of Trading Card Therapy. Next week, folks, I'm going to be trying to do Trading Card Therapy live from the mint in a special edition. Should be a lot of fun. J5 are going out, and I are going out to Vegas. These all have a really nice look to them, even if they're technically low grade. That one's a wicked miscut, but some people are into that. That's what makes the world go round. All right, so those are the Mickeys. Right here, we're going to show them off individually, but how fun is this? These are Aaron's, Mazes, Koufax, Clementes, Joe Morgan rookies, Catfish, Maris's, couple Pete Roses, Jim Palmer's. This is some of the other gravy from the collection. So I just showed our friends on YouTube. I'm going to show our friends on IG. It's a nice looking group, J5. A lot of star power in there. The collection has thousands of cards in total. We just started sorting the collection. We're going to run through, what time we got here? We got enough time. We're going to run through some of the other highlights of the collection. You're going to see they range from, low to mid grade, but tons of star power. Couple 57 Aarons. Try to show both YouTube and Instagram. We were curious why he would have like 9 65 mantles, but only 2 65 Aarons. And he said he'd try to trade for as many as he could. And some of his other friends were collecting them as well. Somewhat sharp 67 Aaron. Another nice 67 Aaron. So this gentleman told us how he put together this collection and his collection. Let us know in the comments, where did you buy your packs of cards when you were a kid? Or did you not buy packs of cards and your Uncle Teddy gave them to you? We'd love to know. Please share with us in the comments. Non-stop action. So J5, these are two of the candidates I'm considering pulling from for the special giveaway we're going to announce in a little bit. What do you think about those? Which one? That one? Because it looks nice, right? Yeah. All right. 61 MVP Willie. Stay tuned, folks. If you're enjoying this episode, it's only going to continue to get better. I'm going to share with you a way to win one of these Hall of Fame cards from this collection we just acquired tonight at 8 o'clock. So stay tuned, folks. We're going to share those details right. Wow. It's a little bit off-center, but this is gorgeous color on a 65 Maze. Nicky M bought his packs of cards at the corner store. But Nick, how'd you get your money? So also let us know in the comments, where did you buy your cards? Where did you get the money? Did you have chores? Did you take change out of your dad's change drawer when he wasn't looking? I'm guilty, Dad. I still love you. 65. Wow. J5, I tell you, the color's really coming across on screen. These things are beauties. There we go. We got a little extra quantity. This is like dead nuts, a 65 Maze. That's a keeper. Very cool. Our very own Nick Mariachi said he worked for his dad, who was a house builder. That's how you earn his ducats. That's what my friend Smitty used to. Wow. Look at this 67 Maze. Looks perfect. If you're into sports card content and enjoy this type of podcast, you're very much going to enjoy Jeremy Lee's Sports Card Live. He's every Saturday night at 10 o'clock Eastern Time on YouTube. And yours truly, I join him at approximately 10:15 or 10:30 for a few minutes, and we call that segment the Weekly Vintage Spotlight. Gorgeous 65 Koufax. Thanks, Nick. Yeah, this is J5 gets a lot of props for this. I drove it home, right? I get the RBI, but he got on base first. 65 Koufax and in general, 65 Topps cards are not that easy to get, especially with this quantity. So super pumped. Speaking of super pumped, if you haven't heard already, We're having a very special event in conjunction with REA, Robert Edwards Auctions. We're having a pop-up auction preview at our store on April. I don't have my phone here. So, I'll try to pull up the calendar. Give me 1 second. So it's not next Friday. Isn't it the weekend after? Third week of April? You sure? 21st is a Friday. I really don't want to give people the wrong date. 65 Koufax. Danny started with 1978 football in the 5th grade. He went to the corner store with his chore money. He also bought grape gum. I loved bubble gum, and I loved getting like watermelon, and being able to buy gum was like, and candy was one of the best things as he started to get money, right? Oh, Nick, he's the best. J5 makes people feel comfortable, explains to them the process very easily, and we work really well together. PMN, great question about how many we're going to send of these to grading. I have no idea because we literally just got this collection, just finalized everything. But this is the first reveal of all of this, or all of these highlights of the newest collection we just bought from a gentleman in Virginia. All right. So our REA auction pop-up preview is going to take place on Thursday and Friday, April 13th and 14th from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. The reason why you may be interested, if you are a local collector to Millburn, New Jersey, is REA generally only allows people at their offices by appointment only. So if you want to see some of the best in vintage cards and sports memorabilia on display for open bidding in their auction, you'll be able to preview some of those items at our event at our store. You'll be able to meet other collectors and Breakomaniacs. There'll probably be some delicious cookies, as we usually have. Of course, there'll be some light food and fare. And the best part is we'll be going live for a little bit as well on Vintage Breaks, and we'll try to get some of the REA gang on here and open up some stuff together. Thanks to Brian, PJ, and of course J5 here for making that event happen. We are super pumped about it. And if you're going to be in Vegas next week, drop us a DM right here on Instagram. We'd love to meet you in person. I'll be there. John will be there as well next Friday and Saturday. A slew of Joe Morgan rookies. Stay tuned to the end. I'm going to share with you which one of these cards you could win at 8 o'clock tonight and how to go about trying to win it. Dead Nut Centered Catfish rookie. Did Sam get Chris a card for his show? A couple nice 65 roses. I think Pete Rose is 80 years old now, believe it or not. Always love the 62 Topps Maris. It's the number one card in the set. Second year Maris. Very low grade 57 Yankee power hitter featuring Mickey and Yogi. Oh, apparently there's 3 Pete Roses. All right. So, folks, I just selected one of these beauties. 1967 Topps Hank Aaron Fairly sharp card, great color, smidge off center, top to bottom. This is fresh from the collection that we just purchased from Virginia. And you could win this card tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. Let me tell you how to enter. We're going to make a post after today's Trading Card Therapy episode number 37's show right here on Instagram. And you'll have to follow a few Instagram accounts, Trading Card Therapy, yours truly, Leighton Sheldon, which is my personal Instagram account, and our Vintage Breaks account. And as long as you follow those accounts, tune in tonight at 8 o'clock to our live stream on our Vintage Breaks YouTube account. You can find us at youtube.com/Vintage Breaks. At just a minute or two past 8 o'clock tonight, we'll give everyone a chance to come in. You have to be present in the YouTube chat to win, but we will random off this 1967 Topps Hank Aaron beauty tonight, and one of you will be a very happy camper. Many people feel he is actually the real home run champion of all time, not Barry Bonds. We'll save that conversation for a different day. But Instagram, I know you're looking at the card right now. You could win this card tonight. No perch necessary. Just got to follow Trading Card Therapy, Leighton Sheldon, Vintage Breaks, and tune in tonight at 8 o'clock to our live stream on YouTube for Vintage Breaks at youtube.com/Vintage Breaks. And we will randomly give away this card to someone in the chat. However, if you are selected and you have not followed those 3 accounts, your win will be nullified and we will choose someone else. All right. As we have the 67 Topps Hank Aaron right here, we're showing off. I want to remind everyone, if you are around this Saturday evening, tune in to Jeremy Lee's Sports Cards Live. Yours truly will be on at about 10:15 or 10:30 with my weekly Vintage Spotlight. And then next week, stay tuned for some awesome content related to the sports card and memorabilia industry. Coming live from Las Vegas and the Mint Collective, Michael Rubin will be there, Peyton Manning will be there, and a bunch of other hobby personalities, dealers, etc. And on that note, I say thank you for tuning in today to Trading Card Therapy, and we'll see you next week.